Welcome to Bon Jovi Discussions. Today, I have one of my good Bon Jovi friends, Laura, from Spain. Is that correct?
Yes, from Barcelona, Spain.
How you doing, Laura?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're doing well and staying safe where you're at?
Yeah. Thankfully, me and my family we all safe and keeping well.
Good. So, how did you become a fan?
Well, I became a fan with Crash. I discovered the band with Crash. I was 14 years old, and I remember that my father used to own a dry cleaner. So I was getting into that dry cleaner with my father, and It's My Life was sounding on the radio, and I was like, what is that? So I remember that moment perfectly. So I could tell you that was the moment I became a fan. So 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's what started for me too. Was I saw It's My
Yeah,
Life.
I know that. Yeah.
When when VH1 showed music videos, I guess I saw the video and thought
Yeah.
that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I started looking for the previous songs, previous albums, and then I spent all my savings. I asked my mom to drive me to the music store, so I bought all the albums and I spent all my savings.
What was your favorite album when you first became a fan?
When I became a fan,
yeah,
maybe it was maybe this. I could tell you maybe it was These Days.
Really?
Yeah. I remember sitting on my desk with a dictionary and listening to all the songs with the lyrics and a dictionary, and that's pretty much how I learned English. So it was a cool experience. Yeah. I used to translate all the lyrics, and I learned a lot of vocabulary out of translating songs, Bon Jovi songs, of course.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because when I was younger, I always wondered how, how massive they were in places like Spain and all over Europe and all around the world, in countries that didn't even speak English. How did they know it? So it's interesting. It's like Moscow back in '89. But do they speak English?
In Moscow?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't know what their
much.
language is over there. Yeah,
they speak Russian. They speak Russian there. Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, and here we speak Spanish, and our level of English is not that pretty good. I mean, back in the 70s, at school you didn't learn English. They used to learn French. But when I was at school, they taught me English. So, but still, the level of speaking is not very good. So that's how I learned English pretty much.
Wow, that's interesting. So you were 14 when you
became I was 14. Yeah,
14.
Exactly.
Wow. And then you mentioned that you met the band in 2002.
Yes. Well, actually, they didn't come to Spain with the Crash tour, so I had to wait until the next album, which was, well, not the next one, but the following one, which was Bounce, and they were promoting the album here in Spain, and they came to Barcelona and they gave an acoustic free show, which was amazing. And the day before that, a radio station was giving a contest, and you just had to call to the radio station and say that you were a Bon Jovi fan, and you could have the chance to meet the band. And I was one of those lucky fans. So yeah, the day before the show, we went to the hotel where they usually stay here in Barcelona, and we got to the suite, to the hotel room, and we chat a little bit. They signed our album. We took a picture, which I have it here if you want to see it.
Wow.
This is the picture I took with the band.
I love how Tico's just looking at you.
Yeah.
That's a cool photo though.
Yeah, it is. I was 16 here.
Wow. How were you nervous or were you excited? Or
yes, my legs were shaking, and actually in order to take the picture, I had to walk downstairs, and I was like, I'm gonna fall down, but luckily I didn't. So, and the first person I met when I got downstairs, it was Tico, and he said hello in Spanish. And then I think the next one was David, then Richie, and the last one was John, which
Wow.
was giving his back to me. He turned around and said, "Hi, dear," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was at his hotel room, and it was crazy, crazy. But I
Wow.
remember everything as if it was yesterday, and it was almost 18 years ago.
How was the acoustic show?
It was amazing. It was a really cool show because they opened with "Love for Sale." That's something I remember.
Yeah.
And I remember that David that day saw me, and he was like, "Hello." He would like kind of wait at me, and it was a great show. There were a lot of people. I don't remember how many people there were. Maybe 40,000 or something like that, because it was like outdoors. It wasn't in an arena or something. It was like in a square of Barcelona. There are fountains out there. They turn off those fountains and they play there. It's a really
Wow.
cool place. Yeah.
Did they do a lot of songs off of Bounce acoustic or?
I can't remember. I think they did like, yeah, maybe 15 or something. But like an acoustic, they all sit down and with the guitars, and that was it. I remember that we asked John to play Always, but he didn't remember the lyrics, which it often happens to him. And yeah, that was cool because we all helped him. And he promised that the next time they played at in Barcelona, he should learn the lyrics back and
Yeah.
sing Always again.
That's really cool. So
Hmm.
I love the Bounce album, and I think it's so underrated.
Yes,
You know, it's one of those albums that is kind of forgotten about.
exactly. It's really underrated.
Yeah. There's so many good songs out. I think from start to finish, it's a great album. There's not a bad
Yeah, it
song on
is.
there, and it's a shame that they don't play anything. It's nice when he's solo. He'll play like Joey or I think that's it
Right
actually.
Side of Wrong. They used to play also Right Side of Wrong, which is a good one too.
Yeah, I like Right Side of Wrong. One,
Mm.
if I could pick one song to see live from that, would be All About Loving You. Which
Oh, really cool.
surprisingly, even on the Bounce tour, they only did it I think twice, and John did it acoustic,
Oh,
which is really
wonderful.
which is
Yeah.
really good. Yeah,
One of my favorite songs of that album is The Distance, which is also like kind of a underrated song.
yeah, I love the distance. The distance is good. What else is on there? There's Undivided, Every Day, The
Mm.
Distance, Joey, Misunderstood. I love
Oh,
Misunderstood.
yes. It was a
Yeah,
single, the second single. Yeah.
yeah. What else? There's All About Loving You. Hook Me Up. That had to grow on me.
Yeah,
I
me too. I feel the same way
Yeah,
with this song.
that was like a little heavier than the rest of the album. I think
Yeah.
just with like Ridgie's guitars, it was pretty heavy, but
It's
it
like
just didn't fit.
it doesn't fit there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like twice of the like Bounce had and stuff. Like it was
Yeah.
a little too heavy, kind of like a Hey God type style, but it worked.
Exactly. Yeah.
As I got older, I got into it. Um, so, and then when did you start becoming friends with like other fans? I know
Well,
that's something
actually,
that's
the first years, well, I'm talking to you about a time where I didn't have, well, nobody had social media. So it was really difficult to find people who loved Bon Jovi. And I had no friends who loved Bon Jovi, only me. So actually, at that concert, at that acoustic show, I was alone. I was by my own. Some of my friends came with me, but they were like going around and they didn't see the show. So I used to go by myself. Well, actually, remember at the Bounce tour, they came to Barcelona in 2003, and my dad uh, drove me to the stadium. And then when the show finished, he picked me up. Well, I was left there alone, queuing the whole day. And then when the show ended, he picked me up and he drove me back home.
so you
So
went to the show by yourself.
yeah. Well, actually, when you are the whole day queuing, you get to know people, but well, actually, I went there alone, so that's my story. And the same in 2008 and in 2011, I went there by my own. So, and then the first time when I met people like having Bon Jovi friends, it was last year. So I'm feeling really lucky because I got to see the band in 5 shows in when they came here in Europe. And thanks to social media, I got to know a lot of good people. And it all started with the cruise because I was thinking that I wanted to go to the cruise, but I didn't have nobody to share a room or something. And my sister was who told me, "Come on, check Facebook because for sure you're gonna find somebody there." And she was right because I found there a lot of people. Actually, I found there two of my best friends with I'm in touch every single day. We talk to each other 24/7, and they are from Madrid here in Spain, which is like 5 hours driving from here.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah, and they are two girls, my girls, and we are like the best friends. And we've known each other for over a year, but it seems like we've known forever. So it's kind of cool because, yeah, and that's thanks to Bon Jovi, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's one of the probably the best parts about going to a Bon Jovi show is being able to experience it with other diehard fans, you know.
Exactly.
And then, like you said, social media, before social media was a thing, you know, I knew a few other Bon Jovi fans through the fan club.
Hmm.
And, but, you know, once social media kind of started, you met people through there. And then, you know, you go to a show, you know, you don't see these people every day, but when you go to a show, you catch
Exactly.
up with them and you can spend the entire day talking to them, and
Yes.
then it's showtime, and you get to have fun at the show with them, experience it, and then after the show, you talk about the show for 3-4 hours,
Exactly.
and it's incredible because here where I live, there's like only one other Bon Jovi fan, and so like all of my my fiance, my friends, my colleagues, everybody just they don't want to hear about it, you know,
Yeah.
and
I
so
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so, like, whether it's an event or if it's just like something's happening with the band, like the new album is coming or something, I'm so excited and want to talk about it.
You want to
Nobody,
share it with other
yeah,
people. Yeah. And you
nobody
can't.
here cares. But the
Yeah.
nice thing is that there's Bon Jovi fans, through social media that do care, and that's where you get to share your
Yeah. Yeah.
excitement.
I feel you. I feel you because
Yeah,
I've been there.
yeah, and it's amazing how how music connects fans from all around the world. Like
Exactly.
you're all the way in Spain, and I'm here in the United States, and
Exactly.
it's incredible.
Yeah, actually, I have friends all around the globe. I have friends which I feel really close to me. For example, in Scotland, in Ukraine, in Italy, in the States. So, and that's thanks to Bon Jovi, thanks to their music, their lyrics, because, well, you know it. Bon Jovi, it's more than music. It's what they tell, what they make you
Yep.
feel, and it's awesome. And for me, last year it was pretty amazing to get to have a conversation about Bon Jovi because my conversations about Bon Jovi until that moment were like me talking about Bon Jovi and somebody listening or not. I'm not sure, but it was pretty awesome to get to talk about the band for hours and it was like, wow, that was really new for me.
Yeah, it, it, it,
So
it's it's something that we get, you know.
yeah, exactly. Because
And
here around me, I have no friends who like Bon Jovi. I mean, they all know me. The people who know me knows that Laura. Oh yeah, that Bon Jovi fan. So everybody knows I'm a fan, but nobody else is. So
yeah,
so
you know, and before social media was a thing, I've been going to shows since One Wild Night tour, I guess. And I'd be beside people and I'd be like, oh yeah, I love this song and like these people only knew like Bad Name and Living on a Prayer, and like they didn't know
yeah,
any other stuff. And then as you went to more shows and social media started to develop, you start talking with other fans that like knew like deep like outtakes and how
Yeah.
this song should have been on this album, but went on that album instead, or why genre, like stuff like nobody else knows except for the diehards,
Yeah. You thought that you were the only people in the world that knew that thing, but then
Yeah,
it turns out that there's a lot of people who thinks like you. I was like, okay, maybe I'm the only crazy girl that knows those details or specific things about Bon Jovi, but then it turns out that it's not like that. But and I feel really blessed because since last year I met a lot of people, and actually maybe people that apart from my friends who are now my friends, I'm talking about people who you meet from show to show. Maybe you don't get that close to that people, but you see them from show to show, and it's like the atmosphere that you live there, it's magical.
yeah, exactly. There's some Bon Jovi friends that I have that I talk to every single day,
The
and then
same.
there's others where I have a good relationship with them, but we don't talk every day. But when a show comes and we're at the same show, we'll talk all day long.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think with some of my best Bon Jovi friends, I think that they're better friends than the friends I have, where I'm at. Not
Yeah, me too.
nothing against them. It's a different level of connectivity.
Exactly.
Because like my friends here, they don't care about Bon Jovi. They, like I'll come home from a show and I want to talk about the show, or
Yeah,
you know,
you're so excited that you need to share
yeah.
that joy.
It's like people people at work or my friends are like, how was everything? How was the show? And like all they want to hear is good. And
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, it was good. This happened. They played this song and they did this. They just don't care,
Yeah.
But it's nice to
This,
have Bon Jovi friends that get it and want to talk about it and share
yeah,
experiences.
exactly. And you feel understood because I could talk to my friends around here about what Bon Jovi means to me, but they might think I'm crazy. How can you feel like that for towards a music band?
Yeah,
They don't get that it's more than
they,
that. So when you
yeah,
find someone to share that feelings, it's awesome.
yeah. It's like people who are so judgmental about. I don't want to say the word obsessed. Being
Yeah,
a
but they
really
kind of, yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind
like
of
being
that.
a big fan of a band. It's no different than people with sports. People who are
Yeah.
diehard sport fans. Well, everyone has their own hobby, and I think music is one of the most amazing things in the world. No matter what band it is, it's amazing. Because it takes
It
you
is.
to a whole other level. It makes you feel things that nothing else can. You know,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly
It's
the
like
same.
it's like what John says. When he writes a song and he records it, it's his song. But once he releases it, it becomes our song. And it's also amazing how we interpret a song in a different way. You know?
Yeah, maybe he wrote it thinking about in a specific way, and then you get it from just maybe in another way, and that's the magic of it.
Yeah. It's like the song "Welcome to Wherever You Are." Like when they released that for the Have a Nice Day album, I I wasn't taking it one way, and then I find out John, it was like under a political agenda.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like, how
Oh
did that
really?
song
Yeah.
come?
Yeah, and
I don't
those
know.
things, it happened to me. I cannot tell you with specifically which song it happened to me, but sometimes it happened to me with a song. But I realized about that like with maybe 2 5 years later. I found out that that song was meant to I don't know, to mean something else that I thought about.
Yeah. Well, what's your favorite Bon Jovi song? If you had to pick one.
Wow, this is a really difficult
Yeah.
question because actually your Twitter polls,
Oh
I
yeah.
had well, I had to sleep on it, and most of all, so I couldn't tell you a song. Well, I could tell you the song that pumps me up the most, which is 99 in the Shade.
I like 99 in the Shades. I'm surprised that you don't hear that as being someone's favorite song. So I like that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Yeah, but I could tell you, well, for years, it's been Always. When I first met the band, I was like, yes, Always, it's my song. Then it was These Days. So these two. But then, yeah, 99 in the Shade is one song that when I hear it, when I hear the just the beginning of the song, it makes me want to jump and scream. And when I'm driving, I love to sing that song while driving.
Yeah. See, my favorite songs changed so much that it's hard for me to pick one. So pick your top five. So Always, 99 in the Shade, These Days. What other two? Do you have a top five?
Blood on Blood.
Blood on Blood. Okay.
Um, and just five.
Just five.
Okay.
We have one more to go.
I'd say next 100 years.
Oh, I love that one. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
I love the band's jam session at the end. That's
Yes.
so cool. And I wish they would have done that song after the Crush tour. I think they did a couple of times on Have a Nice Day tour. I can't remember, but I love the band's jam session at the end.
Yes.
It's
Like in any other
good.
day, it happens the same in any other day. The ending.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Good. Yeah. Favorite album.
Right now, my favorite album, I think I'm gonna say New Jersey.
New Jersey. Why is that?
Because I think most of the songs I could say that they're masterpieces, and I love every one of them from the beginning to the end of the band. And then because of the meaning of that album, because well, like they say, New Jersey is an attitude. So it's like they wanted to show what New Jersey is to the world, and maybe that's why, because it's like they are really aware of where they're from, so, and who they are. So this is pretty cool, and that means a lot to me.
Yeah, I liked the New Jersey. I thought that was their best '80s album. It's like, Slippery was a huge album for them, but like I thought New Jersey was a lot better. Like Slippery was a good album, don't get me wrong, but the New Jersey album was just really good.
Yes, it was. Yeah, for me, I'd rather say that for me it's better New Jersey than Slippery, even though in Slippery you have the hits, the first hits of the band, like Living or Want It, but still, maybe it's because of the meaning of the album also.
Yeah. What did you think of the 2014 box set release in New Jersey?
Oh yeah, I love it. There are plenty of songs that I discovered that I really love. Actually, right now, before you called me, I was listening to that album, and I really love, for example, Back to Heaven or Now and Forever.
I love Now and Forever.
Yeah.
What does anybody really fall in love anymore? That's a good one.
Yeah, the acoustic Born to Be My Baby, it's really cool too.
Oh, I love that.
The
And then
acoustic
House of
version.
Fire. I think House of Fire is on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Alice Cooper took it and did it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He Alice Cooper, I think like a year later out to New Jersey, John didn't want it, and so he gave it to Alice Cooper, and Alice Cooper put it on one of his albums. And there's a whole music video to it too, with
I'm gonna need to check it out.
It's actually pretty good. I like, obviously, I'm biased here, but I think Bon Jovi's version is a lot better. But Alice is pretty good. And then the Diamond Ring version.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realize that Diamond Ring was written and recorded during the New Jersey sessions.
Yeah. And I prefer that version than the one that it's on These Days album.
Yeah, me too. It's just like on These Days version, it's kind of, I don't want to say boring, but it's not, it's like a John and Richie song. It's not a bad song.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just, it's kind of, it doesn't fit These Days album.
But you will find a lot of people who love it and who is like their favorite song. Because I remember in the Mediterranean cruise, I think you know that during the acoustic show, there was a storm in Mallorca, so they had to do the show inside the theater. So John did 2 shows instead of 1, because we had to fit all the fans inside a theater. So he did 2 shows, which were shorter, but still they were great. So, and there were a lot of people upset because at the first show he played Diamond Ring and not at the in the second one, of course. And it was like, I'd rather be at the second show just
Yeah.
because of that.
Well, I heard there are fans that snuck in both shows. You know, like they went to the first show, they were allowed to, but then they snuck into the second show. I
Oh,
heard there.
really?
I heard there was a few fans that did that. Yeah, I didn't do
Oh
that.
my
I
God.
did the first cruise. I didn't do the second one, but
Yeah, no.
I heard that. So
Yeah, and I did like you. I followed your advice because I remember you posted that you were queuing like for 12 hours for the show.
oh my gosh, it was nuts.
So we did the same. Me and my friends from Madrid and one friend from Ukraine. We woke up like at I think it was 5:30 in the morning, and we
Yeah.
went to the pool deck, and we were like sitting there since 6 a.m. Oh my God, that was crazy, but
Yeah.
it was really worth it.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, we were on for mine both days. I got up at 6, 7 in the morning, and it was like 90, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius,
Yeah,
30 or something. It was hot,
yeah, really
and
hot.
I waited the entire day from
Yeah,
like
me
6 in
too.
the morning to 8. But like you said, it was worth it. You know.
Yeah, yeah, totally
And,
worth it. For me, I could tell you that maybe it was the best show I've been. Even I've been in. I mean, last year I was the cruise was after the European tour, which I saw the band in five different shows, but still that show with Kings of Suburbia, I could tell you it was the best because John was on fire. He was like
yeah.
jumping and dancing. I was like I was feeling like it was in my living room dancing and singing with him, just the two of us because it was magical.
Yeah.
Well, I can put it in words. I know that you understand me, but it was awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think John has a lot. I've been to 52 Bon Jovi shows, and some of them were solo too. But I think the cruise shows were the best shows because I think John has more fun and he's more laid back when it comes to the KOS shows or when he's solo. Like he doesn't really have to prove himself when he's with the
Exactly.
band. When he's with Bon Jovi, releasing an album and doing a world tour, he has to prove himself, and it's a huge organization, and everything has to be perfect. With a KOS show, he's just fun, laid back, having fun
Yeah, exactly.
covers, and
He's
it's
he's relaxed and he's just chilling and having fun, and you can notice that.
yeah, you're talking about them him doing Diamond Ring on the first show and on your
Mm,
cruise. That's what's so great about those acoustic shows is that he will do songs that you never will ever see the band do.
exactly.
Like on my cruise, he did. I was hoping for one or the other. I was hoping for "I Will Drive You Home" or
Oh,
"Color Me In." I got lucky and got both. Other things he did
both of
Joey.
them. Wow, lucky
Yeah,
you.
he did Joey. He did the acoustic version of "Always," just the first part. I can't remember the other ones offhand, but what songs did he do on yours?
Well, he surprised us with "Here Comes the Sun," which is well in the other show that he played Hallelujah, and I didn't get to see it. So in the second show, he played yes, as I said, "Here Comes the Sun," which it was a great surprise for me. We also had "You Want to Make a Memory," which I didn't
Ooh.
hear it live yet, so it was my first time. And I remember "It's My Life," "Living Our Prayer." What else? A whole lot of living also.
Ooh.
So yeah,
That's
it was a great set list for me. Yeah.
that is I gotta dig on my set list. Just remember what songs they played, but it was good. I remember he finished up with Hallelujah and he was on fire.
I would
Another thing,
love to hear it live. I haven't yet, so that's one
Hallelujah,
that's in my bucket list.
and then the rock show the next night, the full on rock show. They opened up with "We Got It Going On,"
Wow.
and I like the next tour. I hope they open up with it because it is such a great song to open up with. I
Yes.
love it.
I
What
remember
song
that
did they?
uh which song he opened with? They opened with Lost Highway, and then the
Oh,
second one was Summertime, which
oh,
it was amazing. Summertime was like, wow.
he did Summertime on the.
Yes.
Oh,
It was one of the best moments when I was telling you previously that I was feeling like I was dancing with him in my living room. It was during that song. It was it was amazing. Yeah, he
I'm 100.
surprised us. Yeah.
I'm 150% jealous right now. I love Summertime. It's such a good song. I haven't seen it since the Lost Highway tour, and they kind of like never played it again. But that song is so fun live.
You can see it in YouTube. There's the whole show. Somebody posted there, and you can see it, and it's pretty well recorded. It's good quality. During this quarantine, I've seen it like a couple of times. That show, I can see
Oh,
myself in front row, like waving and
yeah.
singing, and
Because he goes into the crowd during that show too, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah, and he brought
it was.
two fans up to sing with him too, I think.
Yeah, one of them sang "It's My Life" and the other one "Living on a Prayer," which was the last song. So
Wow.
he closed the show with singing with a fan, which is amazing.
Yeah, that is. Well, before we wrap things up here, what is your favorite music video?
My favorite music video. Maybe I'd go with "It's My Life" because it takes me to that time when I met the band, and I was like watching it again and again and again. So I could tell you that, yeah, because of the feelings, not because of the video. I could tell you that because of what reminds me.
Yeah, I thought I just think it's cool in the video. The stuntman, he's rushing to get to the Bon Jovi show, and
Yeah, actually, the video of from for Limitless, it kind of reminds me of that video of "It's My
I
Life" video.
I thought so too, especially like when they're jumping off the
Really?
bridge up to the final
Yeah,
chorus. It's
yeah.
like
It
a
was like,
repeat
oh my
of.
god, it's like a deja vu.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah,
amazing if they got the same actor, whoever that guy
yeah.
was.
It
But
would have been great.
yeah, I thought that was a cool video. Mine is "You Want to Make a Memory." That's my favorite
Oh,
music video because it's so sad. Like when I
yeah. It's
first
kind of sad.
when I first heard the song, they debuted it on I think American Idol or something, and I thought the song was really good. But then the music video came out a few weeks later, and you know what the video is. It's so sad.
Yeah, it
You know,
is. It's
because like
sad.
throughout the whole video, it's just like him kind of sitting there watching in the video, his wife
Yes,
get ready, and then at the end, you realize that he's either A, living in the past, or B, he's a ghost and he's not
exactly.
dead, and she's moved on.
Yeah,
So that's
it's really sad.
yeah. So
You just remind me of another video which I really loved, which is all about loving you.
oh,
It's
that's
a
such a
really
good one.
cool one. Yeah,
Yeah, I
a
love
really
that
good
video.
one.
I think if anybody tried to do that now, they'd get arrested.
Yeah, exactly. It keeps them like it's like you can compare it to you want to make a memory because until the end you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And it's really
Exactly.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I could never do that. I can't even get on the top of my roof at my house. I can't do heights. So,
You're afraid of heights?
oh, absolutely, I'm afraid of heights.
Really?
Yeah, I could. Like I said, I can't even get on my own roof to clean the gutters.
Oh my god.
I hate heights. Like I can go up a ladder about 4 steps, and that's it.
And that's it.
That's it. You can do heights.
Well, yeah, I think so. Well,
Um,
actually, one of the things that it's in my bucket list is to skydive. I would love to do that.
I have 0% desire to ever do that. Or
Well,
bungee jump off a
once I
bridge.
do that, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna try to convince you to try it.
I'll live my experience through you. I'll just let you tell me about it. Well, Laura,
Okay.
thanks for coming on today. It was great
Well,
chatting.
thank you for doing everything you are doing with these discussions with all the Bon Jovi challenges you're doing on Twitter. Actually, the quarantine has been really great thanks to what you're doing. So I wanted to thank you that because you're doing
Yeah,
a great job.
Thank you. Today is actually the last day of the polls.
Yeah, I already voted. I voted for Always.
Good job.
I was surprised that You Give Love a Bad Name made it to the final round against Always. I would have never imagined that.
I think You Give, originally when we were doing the Slippery album, You Give Love a Bad Name, I think lasted up until Bad Medicine. So that's
I think
4,
so.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It lasted a lot.
So that's 9 songs, yeah. And then it did well through the final poll rounds, and today it's up against Always is obviously going to win. But then tomorrow we're going to do the box set, which I think will be interesting, because that's one thing. That's one thing about these polls, though, is I think that there's a lot of general fans on Twitter that just know the hits. Because like when there was like a hit song versus a deep track, the hits were winning like crazy. And so I think with the box set, I think that's going to be one thing where it's just like the diehard Bon Jovi.
Yes, because the normal fans, they are not going to know the whole song. So
yeah, probably won't get as many people voting, but that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun. All right, Laura, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, bye.
Bye.